the strongest part of the team is the team. Coaches like to say that a lot. Hey, the strength of our team is our team. Next man up. The 49ers, they embody that. Whether it was a starting quarterback, whether it was a running back, whether it was a wide receiver, George Kittle, they experienced so many different injuries, and that just shows you the type of infrastructure that they have over there. That shows you the type of coaches that they have.
Stopping by here at Willard and Dibs on Radio Row, the great Von Miller with us here. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great, man. It's an honor and privilege to be here. Early on in your career, you're like, man, I got Radio Row, I got to do all this all day. Then, going on 37 years old, I look forward to it, man.
37?
Yeah, they come here and they asking me about, my career, and I can answer whatever question they ask me any type of way I want. Hey, Von, how was your season? Well, I like chocolate cake, and it was great. Who wouldn't want to be in that position? I love it, man.
You're comfortable in your own skin now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and by the way, age 37 is a pretty fun age in the Bay. I don't know if you know that, but Trent Williams and Steph Curry are also 37. Yeah. So you're still in your prime as far as we're concerned.
Yep.
I'm still in the prime, man. I got 3 kids.
How old?
2 Super Bowls, 4.5, 3. And I had a newborn December 26th.
Wow,
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
It's not,
oh my gosh.
not too much in my life that I could, be complaining about other than not playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You can't win them all.
No.
But I don't like to believe that.
Is your 3-year-old giving you the business? Because I have a 3.5-year-old, and she's got me running ragged.
Yeah, I got 2 boys and 1 girl. And my 2 oldest, they're boys. Batman and Robin. Whatever duo. That was just a duo that came in the head. Those guys are rough. They wake up early, go to sleep late, and they eat whatever you got. 2 big dudes, too. They run. When kids get to that age where they start to weigh a little bit, but they don't realize how much they weigh, and they just, fall on you, step on you, and, knee you. Man, I got bruises all over my body from my 2 boys, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
By the way, welcome to the family, because Audacy, I know, is where you've got your new podcast, Free Range with Von Miller.
Yep.
Let us know. What's going to be on there?
So, Free Range, it's actually a spinoff of who I am. I couldn't call it Green and Pastures Chicken. I couldn't call it Pasture Raised. Free Range. I'm going to have my chicken farm with Green and Pastures Chicken. When it comes to my personality and the type of topics that I love to talk about, it's very free range, whether it be talking about the Super Bowl champion or the Tiafimo and Shakir fight that just happened. There are so many different things that I can dibble and dabble in, and that's why we call it free range. It's free range on both sides of the spectrum, and I can talk about anything. So here we are.
Here we are, and you've got that unlock, and eventually Canton's going to be there. There's no doubt. You've already got a Super Bowl.
Are you sure, though? Are you sure, Ken? Because we don't know.
Vaughn, I'm going to go out on a limb.
With this Bill Belichick stuff, I don't know what you got to do to be in the Super Bowl.
I don't know if you've ever filmed another team's practice. I don't want to get into that, but I feel pretty good about your case. But if
they're doing that with Bill Belichick, then they got to do it with Tom Brady. And I promise you, if they do that with Tom Brady, if Tom Brady not a first ballot Hall of Famer, it won't be a good look for that. It won't be a good look. What are we talking about? Tom Brady not a first ballot Hall of Famer, and Tom Brady and Bill Belichick are tied at the hip. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how they do it. The only way you can save that is to do the same thing to Tom Brady. Once you do that, if you do it to Bill Belichick, you do it to Tom Brady. No matter what uproar it creates, it'll save the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
And Bob Kraft didn't get in, and so if you say no to Belichick and no to Kraft, but Adam Vinatieri, the kicker, gets in, that to me, Vaughn, he's a finalist now.
Yeah.
It's the Hall of Fame, I thought about it, so growing up, never in a million years did I think I would have an opportunity to go to the Hall of Fame. It just wasn't in my thought process.
Right.
Towards the end of your career, you start thinking man, I might have the opportunity to go. You look at other guys that's in, you compare your stats, whatever. But then you see, Bill Belichick, he won 8 Super Bowls. He won 8 Super Bowls. He won 6 of them as a head coach. You can't. One of the things that I like to think about when it comes to kind of deciding who's a Hall of Famer and who's not. 1,000 years from now, if you're telling the story of the NFL, say if it's some type of alien species and they want to learn about the human race. They play this sport called football. What is football? You can't explain the history of football, the NFL, without talking about Bill Belichick, without talking about Tom Brady. So what they did to to Bill Belichick, it didn't matter. He could have went up to one of those voters and slapped him in the face. Like, it still wouldn't take away from what he did on the football field. And they talk about the Spygate and they talk about the Deflategate. All he did after those incidents was go on to win 3 more Super Bowls and go on to just excuse my friends, but he beat ass all the way after that. You know, Tom Brady, they talk about the Deflategate and having flat balls, and like it was quarterbacks that were doing it before. Like he throwing the same ball that everybody else is throwing. Like after that, he came and he only showed that he could play football. He still threw the ball better, whether it was flat or whether it was inflated. Like, so it's crazy. It's crazy how, you know, 50 people can have such an influence on a coach's legacy or a player's legacy. But hey, that's where we are.
15 years already done now in the league. But you're still sacking the quarterback for Washington last year. Are you done?
No, I'm not done. I got next year. So, you know, I'm a taken man right now. I'm still with the Washington Commanders.
Okay.
I would love to stay with the Washington Commanders next year. Dan Quinn, like, hell of a coach. Whether we won 5 games or not, like, that doesn't change, you know, the type of coach that he was. Like, incredible coach. I would love to be back there. I'll be 37 years old. Like, he knows how to take care of the veteran players. He did a great job with me. I would love to be in that environment next year, but I'm at a point now, I don't have any leverage. I can't go around here demanding I need this and I want to play for this and I want to play here, I want to play there. Whoever wants me, wherever I end up, I would love to be there, whether it's the Denver Broncos, the Buffalo Bills, the Washington Commanders. I'll just be happy to have another opportunity to play this game that I love.
Can you speak on Sean McDermott and not necessarily what happened to him, did they do him dirty or whatnot, but what kind of a coach was he out there?
He was an incredible coach. It was definitely a shock for me. I didn't see that one coming. He took the Buffalo Bills from laughing stock of the NFL. Nobody wanted to go to Buffalo and play. Guys would cry on draft day whenever they got drafted by the Buffalo Bills, to being one of the best teams in the NFL, not even just AFC or NFC. Like, to go to the Super Bowl, that Lombardi Trophy has to travel. The Buffalo Bills are going to have a say-so on who gets that Lombardi Trophy. You either got to beat them or they're going to win the game. Like, he took that Buffalo Bills team to one of the best teams in the NFL. He's a great coach, even better person off the football field. I love Coach McDermott, love Josh Allen, love all those guys, man. My 3 years there were some special years, and those moments are definitely held close to my heart.
I got a couple questions for you that might matter a lot to Niner fans around these parts, and one of them is you guys experienced a lot of injuries this year in Washington. So did the Niners, and they still won 12 games in a playoff game. What from afar, what does that mean to you when a team can achieve that even through all that adversity?
You know, the strongest part of the team is the team. You know, coaches like to say that a lot. The coaches, hey, the strength of our team is our team. Next man up. The 49ers, they embodied that. Whether it was a starting quarterback, whether it was a running back, whether it was a wide receiver, George Kittle. Like, you know, they experienced so many different injuries. And that just shows you the type of infrastructure that they have over there. That shows you the type of coaches that they have. Like, you know, the schemes that they're running over there might be better than the players that they have in those schemes. That shows you the type of guys that they have, the type of leadership. Starts with John Lynch and the ownership over there. But then you get guys like Kyle Shanahan to run the ship. You get guys to buy in. They don't have, like, big-time, like, star wide receivers. You know, they traded Deebo to us. You know, they got some young guys over there, whether it's Brandon Jennings. They played without Brandon Ayuk the whole season. You know, there was a guy that they were depending on to kind of take them to the next level. And they were still able to have, you know, extreme success. They were playing for the #1 seed in the NFC. That game they got killed. I wouldn't say a couple of plays later. They got killed by the Seattle Seahawks, but they had an opportunity to do that. And next year they're going to get all those guys back, and it's going to motivate those guys to be even better.
One of them is Nick Bosa. I wonder what your view is on him, his style versus your style.
Well, 2 totally different players.
Yep.
But I'm a huge fan of Nick Bosa. You know, followed his career. I don't even have to follow it. Like, you see it. Like, each and every weekend, you know, he's doing something spectacular on the football field. You know, Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa, been a huge fan of the brothers. Those guys they play the game differently than everybody else. Huge fan of Nick Bosa. You know, I've dealt with injuries as well. I know how hard it is to come back. Going through adversity like that, it only makes you better. And Nick Bosa is probably sitting in the couch saying, "Oh, right, I could have been better without the ACL injury." But I'm telling you, you know, whenever you go through stuff like that, you have a different perspective on the game. Not that he needed it, but everything that he's going through, that he's went through, is going to make him a better player for sure.
Do you think about the all-time sacks list? Because I'm looking here, and you got T. Sizzle's coming up, Jason Taylor, Michael Strahan. Those are some big-time names. Do you eyeball that at all, or is that something that we fans fixate on?
No, man, I ain't worried about that stuff, man.
So if I asked you how many career sacks you had, would you know that you've got exactly 138.5?
No, man, I don't know how many I got, man. But yeah, I'm 2 sacks away, 3 sacks away from Michael Strahan. I don't know nothing about that, man.
Yeah, exactly 3. Exactly 3.
I don't know about that,
exactly 3.
Oh man, that's so good.